Happy Sunday. It's Sunday, right? Okay, yeah, it is Sunday. Welcome to the Jam and Shred Dojo with Master Lee. I am Christopher Lee Weiss, aka Master Lee. I want to welcome you here to Junkie Bass, and we're going to do some jamming and some shredding tonight. Sunday night, so we're going to do some metal for sure. Probably do a little couple more relaxing tracks in honor of Sunday, the best day to chill of the week. So other than the other 6, right? Always time to chill. Remember, always time to relax and have a good time. Let's go ahead and get things kicked right off with doing a jam. It's kind of a nice warm-up jam there a little bit. My hands are definitely not warmed up yet tonight, so we gotta just keep playing, right? That's what make it better. All right. The guitar's worked out a little better than it was last night, I think. Definitely has more of a... It kind of stays in tune a little better than it did last night. I got it locked down. I didn't adjust the truss rod yet, or I'm not sure if I want to adjust the truss rod just yet. I can still hear it fretting out a little bit, but it's not so bad that I didn't want to mess with it too much. I'll tinker with it. Usually when I start tinkering with it, I'll make it worse. Then it'll take me extra long time to fix it, right? So I didn't want to do that so close to the stream. I just wanted to be able to have it to play on. So, but man, it's awesome, right? All right, man. I really wish we could get the better lighting in here, man. It's really, you know, this guitar is blue and purple and green. It looks just like green now because of the lights that I'm in. But man, it changes colors. You know, if I ever get to play some of those, I always dreamed of playing the Day on the Green. You know, ever since I saw Metallica with Cliff Burton playing on the Day on the Green in San Francisco in I think it was Cliff Mall way back in the day, right after unfortunately Cliff died, and they released that bootleg video of all those great jams that Cliff played along with them. So, man, that was always my dream gig, is to play outside in a big festival, you know. Maybe play the US Festival, you know, like remember Motley Crue played in 1983, I think it was. But, man, tons of great bands played the US Festival, right? I know Kiss played that many, many times, too. But, man, what about the ultimate gig of just being able to play outside in the summertime, play in the sun, see the giant crowd, man? Doesn't really get any better than that, you know. Not that I don't like the clubs, dark at night, you know, late at night, slamming, walls banging, the whole place rattling. That's really cool, too. But, man, nothing like being outside. All right, let's do another jam. Man, that's a great jam, man. I'm so happy to be playing, so happy to be hanging here with you guys tonight. Man, I haven't been able to play guitar all day, so this is definitely the best part of my day for sure. Really enjoy playing the guitar. Hope everybody that's hanging out tonight enjoys at least listening to guitar. And man, I encourage everybody to pick up a musical instrument, whether it's guitar or not. And if you're not really interested, if you're thinking, man, I don't know if I can learn to play the guitar, pick up a ukulele. Play the ukulele, strum some chords, sing along with it, man. It's a great gateway instrument into learning the guitar. It really is. In fact, all you players that actually, you can shred on a ukulele too. I have an electric ukulele. Although, it's kind of microphonic, meaning that, if I run it through like a distortion unit, because yeah, that's the first thing I did when I got my electric ukulele was put it through the distortion unit because I wanted to play Pantera on it. Got to metal everything, right? Everything's got to be metal. But when I enjoy it, man, you get that ukulele, you can really start playing some things. And it has frets on it and strings just like, a normal guitar does. It's just, there's only 4 different strings and it's tuned a little different. But again, it's just something kind of to get you started a little bit. And the ukuleles are fantastic because they're portable and they're pretty inexpensive. You can get a pretty decent ukulele for yeah, it just kind of depends. Somewhere around maybe 50 or 60 bucks just to kind of start you off with. You can probably get them cheaper than that too. I just always want one. It's like I went to buy my ukulele. I had to make sure it had a cutaway at the bottom so that I could access the high frets, and I had to make sure it had a pickup in it so that I could, amplify it. Because again, as a metal guitar player, as a rock guitar player, loud is good, right? I want that. I want my rig to be able to scare farm animals. A couple of states away. I mean, I want this thing to really rip, right? So let's do another jam. That's a good jam. That one I'm always trying to. I see. Yeah, that's true. Dean does make a metal ukulele. That one, I didn't want to scare off the little kids when I bought the ukulele. I should have got the metal ukulele too. But I'm thinking more traditional on that one. I don't know. I have to get my ukulele out. I don't even know where it is. That's probably downstairs in a case. Probably in the Dungeon O Guitars. Man, I have to bring that one out. Maybe jam, shred that. That'll last like 3 seconds, though. I'm always disappointed on that. There's not enough frets. There's no whammy bar. It's hard to bend notes on it. It's a ukulele. Not really the, encompassing beast that something like this is. So let's change it up here just a little bit since it's Sunday. Let's do a little bit more of a chill track since it's Sunday. Then we'll go right back to the metal. definitely a nice mellow Sunday jam there. Although I did, always kind of experimenting with that a little bit, That's kind of the fun part of jamming. It was kind of like on that A one, the A that the chord change that we did right before that one, kind of an A minor chord change, and really it is A natural minor because the chord change has an F in it. But every once in a while, I kind of throw the F sharp in there when the F chord is not present, just to try to get the Dorian sound out of it. I like it sometimes. Sometimes I can pull it off. Sometimes, sometimes I think my hearing kind of gets used to the tonality of wanting to hear those intervals, and so playing so much music, I'm not really sure if I should go with what I expect to hear, or maybe go with something a little outside just to try to push the envelope a little bit, right? But you never really know what you're going to end up with or how you're going to get it there. You just kind of go for it. All right, let's do another jam. the one that was over too soon. I have to do that one again later. I really like that one. That's also from the Boss Micro BR80. Definitely some pretty cool jams in there. Although I've kind of played out all the jams that are in there. There's only so many. You think when you first get the thing, you're like, wow, man, it's like there's like 150 jams in here, and then you play through them all over and over again. You're kind of like, okay, cool. But that's again, that's plenty for a beginner player, plenty for an intermediate player, and actually plenty for me too. I've had the thing for over a year, and I've definitely used quite a bit of the jams that are in there. I think that the cool part of it is you can kind of create your own jams in it. Obviously, you're always trying to create your own things. I kind of use a mix of my own and some other ones here, but again, it's just kind of having the creative juices flowing and being able to do it. Plus, again, when you go through and record your own, you have a little better idea of, you can test it out more and maybe change them up. The Boss jams are great, but they're just one change that loops over and over and over again, which is great. Because again, that's how you really want to jam. You want to keep playing with the same stuff over and over and over again, and you really think about the chords and think about the change, right? One of the things that is kind of odd when you think about soloing, the bands that I listen to, especially like Megadeth or Metallica, most of the time the solos don't occur over the main riffs, right? So, like in a lot of metal tunes. In a lot of metal songs, there's a lot of like, you'll get kind of that cool rhythm, in the main metal tune, like whether it's a slow switch pickups there. Or you'll get into kind of a really fast kind of pedal riff. But again, a lot of times once the solos come in, the solos usually are played over a chord change. There's like when I think of like the guitar solo from Tornado of Souls by Megadeth. That is kind of occurs over a chord change that's like. Right? And so you end up playing that kind of a change, where that riff there, the one that I just kind of was soloing over, that one was definitely kind of more of kind of a main riff of a thing. Again, you can solo over all the riffs, right? The reason lead guitar players, we kind of like the chords to shift because it allows us to kind of, it gives us more target notes, right? So like if I'm only playing over one chord, let me get to, so if I'm only playing over, for example, E minor, right? If I'm only playing over E minor and I want to play the target notes of E minor, I have to play E, G, and B because those are the target notes. Now, again, even in that jam, I was pushing I always play the 9 on top of that or the 2, right? So that means anytime I hear an E, I'm going to play F sharp over it. There's another jam that we'll do here that actually is highlighted in the chord, but I really like the way the 9 sounds because it kind of, we kind of push it off that resolve. But anyway, going back to the other point. The other point was that, for example, in the E minor, there's the note C. And if I try to play C over an E chord, has a little bit kind of a, a dissonant sound to it. But if I put in an A minor chord or a C major chord, or even, like maybe even an F sharp minor 7 flat 5, then that C kind of fits in there a little bit better. Although the C will be a flat 5 over that, the F sharp minor 7, kind of give us that. But man, what a great sound that is, And again, harmony is the spice of music. Individual notes are great, and like we play a lot of scales, but the notes themselves, thinking about just, and again, the scales themselves do have interesting sounds. Don't get me wrong, but again, it's kind of like taking all your favorite ingredients in a cookie and eating them one at a time. Yeah, once you get them all in your mouth, you can kind of taste the cookie, right? But sometimes it's better to get them all in there at one time. That's why they bake cookies instead of giving you all the little ingredients and say, shove this in your mouth, right? So again, but that's, again, all music kind of gives that sound and that shape. we know, music kind of happens in I look at it in kind of a horizontal and vertical way, or two dimensions, or however you want to think about it. When I think along the lines of like notes, when we play notes just straight away, and I'm going to play like a scale. I hear the G major scale. In fact, you're used to hearing those tones, right? Because if I come up short, your brain's expecting that resolve. In fact, as a musician, I can play with that and make you anticipate it even more. I could go. Right. Now, again, you play with that too much and it irritates the audience. And if you resolve too quick, it's just boring sounding because there's no tension there, right? Playing music very much like watching a movie, if nothing ever happens exciting that the tension needs to be resolved, you really don't get all that interested in the movie. Of course, if you start watching the movie and every character they introduce gets killed off like every 30 seconds, you're never long enough to be invested in the movie to start to care about the character. So it's a really fine balancing act of trying to get you interested in, but still change it and shock and surprise you as you go, right? All right, let's do another jam, but this one I want to kind of do a kind of a mellow, kind of a darker, clean, like metal version, So like when you think about, I always think, kind of a classic E minor add 9. And this jam basically is based around that chord, but what's cool about that add 9 is that it allows me, since it's E, it allows me to use that F sharp, the 2, to kind of build up a resolve to it. You'll kind of hear me. I'll just kind of give you an example, maybe some of the lines I'll play before I play so you can kind of listen for them. Let me put the distorted on here. So I might actually do something along the lines of like this. Where I'm coming back to that F sharp every time, right? So here's the F sharp, going down to E, using the G as the third, the minor third. And then using the rest of the scale, D, C, and B. Then again, just going through those an octave again, using A, G, F sharp, and then as soon as I hit that F sharp again, I'm an octave lower than what I started, right? Let's listen to the jam and take a listen to me do it. about that one too. It's one of the nice things about playing over slower jams too, especially the darker ones, is that I can use more of the tonal palette of my pedal board. Right, clean lead guitar does not sound very good over really shreddy guitars. Clean chords can sound really cool. I think of excuse me. I think of what was it, 99 Ways to Die by Megadeth. I think they use that in there, where it's kind of like they use a clean acoustic melody on top of the kind of the heavy metal chords that are in the background. So that works out really good too, right? So there's definitely some opportunities to do that. But I would say it kind of works better in the other way a lot more. Like when you got a clean jam, you can play distortion over it, you can play clean, you can use a wah, you can use all these different effects. And I'm definitely going to start working in some more of the effects from the pedal down here. I actually think I've isolated the problem with it. I think it's an overheating problem. But I usually turn it off about an hour before I go on, and we turn it back on and seem to not have any problems. And it could have just been dust and dirt too, because, man, for some reason I never use patch 1 all that often. I always use patch 3 through 4. And so those pedals always work great. But I do notice that the up and down patch on the other, I guess on the rest of the board is kind of messed up a little bit when it gets warm anyway. Man, I can't say enough great things about the Tone, the Vox Valvetronics Tone Lab LE. It's definitely one of my all-time favorite jams. Probably need to replace the 12AX7 that's in it too, but not really quite sure how to get it open. Never thought about that, It's got a little window where you can see the tube heating up so that the air can get out so it doesn't overheat, but I don't know if that you can exactly get to it without maybe taking off the entire back, which looks like there may be a whole lot of screws involved with that, but that's okay. It's worth it, right? Anything for the tone. All right, let's do another heavier jam. always want them to go longer. I always want them to go longer. Maybe I need to loop them. Maybe. Just trying to keep it fresh. You know, I try to keep everything about 5 minutes long, just about the normal standard rock or metal tune. Although I know, you know, for radio play, it was always, what was it, 3:05, 3 minutes and 5 seconds? That's always how long it was supposed to be, you know, so they could cut it together for all the commercials. Unless you're Tool, then you don't make the radio, or Dream Theater, you know, and you got to have your own satellite show so that your 20-minute, 23-minute song doesn't, you know, infringe on you. You can go to the store, go inside, get your stuff, come back, the same song's still on, you know. I know Casey still. I don't know. Does Casey still do the album of the week or whatever they used to do? Man, I forget what they called it on Sunday nights, but I think they still do that. I think anyway. That was always really cool. You know, they play a whole album. You know, back in the day when DJs could actually program the mix before it became, you know, what do they call that? Clear, whatever the nationwide thing they've decided that everybody gets to hear the same, you know, 30 songs now. Hopefully most of the rock and metal stations don't have to put up with that, but yeah, Sweet Meat, definitely, man. Definitely. I still got some old Casey bumper stickers. I got an old Casey bumper sticker from the what was it, the Ultimate Sin tour with Ozzy Osbourne, where it's the album cover of the Ultimate Sin, but instead of Ozzy's head on the demon, I guess it's you know, it's Sweet Meat's head. So, man, good memories. Let's do another jam. tune. Man, I'm really loving this guitar. Man, I'm torn on the whammy bar. I love the whammy bar. I really do, man. I just love this thing to death. But it definitely takes a little bit of work. You got to pay more close attention. I'm such a stickler for staying in key, or I'm not key as far as like playing the notes, but I'm a stickler of the intonation being right when I play the notes, for it to actually be the notes that are in that particular key. And the whammy bar definitely messes that up a little bit, but it didn't stop Hendrix, right? Definitely didn't stop Vi. I'm trying to think of two guys. I know Vi is pretty much the whammy bar master. Satriani uses the bar a lot too. I use a lot of Satriani's kind of ideas. And Van Halen, of course, who can forget Edward? When, talk about one of the greatest guitar players of all time, actually just talked about maybe four of the greatest guitar players of all time, Certain guys you don't hear use the whammy bar a whole lot, like, for example, Carlos Santana. I love Santana, what a fantastic player, but I don't hear him using the whammy bar a lot. B.B. King, another great guy that you don't ever really hear him using the whammy bar a whole lot. Not really his style, to try that. Maybe we'll try that here in just. In fact, let's do that now. Let's see if we can't work the whammy bar into like a blues jam just to see what happens. No promises. Might go off the rails, but hey, you got to take the chance, right? You got to jump at it. Let's get that jam happening. We'll start clean. like the whammy bar over the blues a lot. Actually, it works really nice with the clean. All right, all blues players from now on, they should use the whammy bar, right? All right, I'm just kidding. But it does add kind of a whole nother flavor of range of tone to it, you know? That's one of the great things about the whammy bar. In fact, that's kind of the great thing about all the particular patches. Now, I'm trying to think, so many of the patches that I have don't really have kind of, let's see, what is this? Slow vibe. You know, that's a great sound too, you know, just kind of that pulsing, you know. And then you can obviously control the vibrato speed with the pedal, right? Definitely has kind of that phase sound too, you know, where it kind of comes in and out of phase. But again, you know, a lot of those great rhythm patterns and sounds for the leads, especially over the metal stuff, kind of get lost in the shuffle a little bit. So let's do another metal jam. All right. Well, that one goes real fast. I don't have any ending on it, any end time on that one at all. It just immediately starts with the next jam. Man, that's definitely a cool one. Let's see if we can't pick something in a different key. Let's see what we got in F sharp. Man, I'm always worried about the F sharp ones. I kind of those for some reason I don't know, man. When I did these grooves yesterday, put them in here. I even went to normalize them today. Man, they're like below the normal dB threshold that I normally get out of my DAW. So let's just try it. Yeah, the levels are still off for that. I gotta work on that one. That's a little harder to jam over because I can't really hear it in the dojo here. But you know what? Again, I've played many gigs that way. I played, man, I think it was at the High Point. I don't remember if it was the High Point. I think it was the High Point, but I don't remember. I remember we played a gig at the High Point once. Man, all I could hear was a kick drum. I mean, that was it. We were playing, we was a speed metal band, right? So we had 2 guitar players, a bass player, a singer, and a drummer, right? 5-piece band. I couldn't hear myself. I couldn't hear the rhythm guitar. I couldn't hear the bass. I couldn't hear my leads. I couldn't hear the singer. All I could hear was the kick drum. So for like an hour set, I just had to basically play. You know what was really cool too, because we had been playing for a long time and touring together. That show was actually not videotaped, but audio taped off of the board. And so we were on. We were dead on. In fact, nobody really missed any parts, and we were super tight, which was really cool. But that definitely goes to show you that sometimes the musicians aren't enjoying themselves on stage. That is one of the bummer things that a lot of people don't realize, is that when you're on stage, it doesn't sound crystal clear. A lot of times it just has this kind of staticky sound, or the notes just don't ring out super clear. That's the one nice thing about being able to have maybe some of the modern technology where we have in-ear monitors now, where you can actually kind of get a pull off the board so you can actually hear what's going on. But back in the day, you didn't have anything. You just had these monitors, basically these speakers down front that pointed back at the band. And sometimes you got a great sound, and sometimes you didn't. And then sometimes the sound guy doesn't know what you're doing. Man, I went and played a club that was nothing but bass. And the only thing they didn't mic any of the instruments. All they mic'd was the kick drum. So that was it. Now, it was a small place, so I kind of understood that. But man, drums are loud. I'm not really sure why they mic'd just the kick drum. It was a interesting sound, to say the least. But man, that's just what they do, right? All right, let's see what else we can jam. like jamming over that one. What was the next one? Ooh, I got an E minor mellow one. Yeah, since it's Sunday, we'll go ahead and kick off with another mellow one here in a minute. Man, I really like that just plain old bass jams. You know, you can kind of play rhythm over that too. You know, that's probably should have switched to the rhythm channel, but yeah, this pedal board that I have only allows me 4 presets at a time. Then I got to toggle up and down. So I try to keep everything on the same 4 while I'm actually jamming, just for a split-second timing. Although here I'm kind of jamming in the dojo, I could take some more time to probably click up and change back down to the other ones that I'm doing. But it's all good, right? All right. Let's do that kind of mellow one. I definitely like that one. Definitely more of a Dorian jam, right? Want to use C sharp over that more than C. Although I do kind of like, I don't know, I like the dissonant sound, but the C sharp definitely kind of flows a little better with the mellowness of the vibe. Maybe that just means it's time to do another metal track, right? Let me grab a drink here and we'll do one. definitely like that jam. Of course, I wrote it. Like the other jams too. I'm definitely more aggressive than the stuff that's on the Boss. I don't know, man. I'm pretty extreme. In fact, I spent a lot of my times in the youth, not even in speed metal bands. I was in death metal bands. So we've just played some pretty extreme, hardcore stuff. Now, again, as I've gotten older, I've played a lot of gigs. Plays jazz and blues and wineries. If you were with me yesterday, I played the eyeglass department at Walmart. In fact, hey, Walmart, you need anybody to play any more of your, maybe I can play lawn and garden section next. I don't know how it works. I don't know if you got to play in the eyeglass department, Wednesdays and Thursdays and draw enough people into the eyeglass department. And then maybe, if you really work up and you really get a draw, they move you over to lawn and garden for Fridays and Saturdays. I'm not really sure how the whole jamming at Walmart thing goes. I only got to do it there once. Actually, I got set up there to do it twice, but the second time I went, I think that they realized that I had, was kind of in the way, so they set me up outside, which wouldn't have been a big deal. It just that it was raining really bad when I showed up, and they wanted me to stand out in the rain with about $3,000 worth of gear with no overhang, no tent, no anything. They just wanted me to play in the rain getting drenched. It's like, man, unless you're going to reimburse me for my gear and shoot some music video while I'm jamming in the rain and help prevent me from getting electrical shock, I had to walk from that gig. That was disappointing too, because I was looking forward to that. Not that really looking forward to playing at Walmart, but sometimes it's fun to play to people that you don't normally would get to play to. I played the opening of the Rascals baseball stadium once. It was opening night years and years ago, and again, another one of those fun gigs. Man, it was a great. I love the Rascals. I love baseball. But it was one of those things where management didn't realize what, it's like, I don't know. It's like sometimes I think half the management knows what I'm doing. The other half has no idea that I'm there. They had me set up out front to actually play music while people walked in. And so the first big problem was the fact that they had overhead music that was pumping through speakers that they didn't stop when I first started to play. So I had to kind of stop and get them to turn the music off. But then once I played, it was like I was playing basically like right at the turnstile. So I jammed to probably 500 or 600 people, one person at a time. It's like, they're just walking in front of me while I'm jamming. I was like, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? What's up? That was kind of a crazy gig instead of seeing, kind of a group of people or slam dancing and stuff. And again, this was cool too because this is all like families and kids and, people that normally would not go to a metal show. And again, I was playing other stuff too. I was playing some blues and some rock too, but definitely working in the metal stuff. I remember when I was teaching at Mazingo's, one of the fun things doing at Mazingo's was the Christmas show. They would always hire the teachers to play, Christmas music at Mazingo's on the floor. And again, that was cut down. Actually, Dan shut that down because it was probably my fault too. I think it was, but they're trying to answer the phones and do sales, especially at Christmas time. And there's a lot of people in there at Christmas time. I think we were just kind of in the way. But it was nice because it was an extra paycheck for the musicians. I always appreciated Jeff for giving us that opportunity. And it was always fun, too, And then the store staff could come over and have fun with us, especially me because I didn't really prep for it all. I wrote all the background tracks, but since I could read music fluently, I would just read the sheet music. They'd come over and take my sheet music away. And, as you read sheet music, it's different. I don't know, anybody out there that reads sheet music, but you have a tendency not to memorize sheet music once you get good at reading it. You could just kind of read it as you go. So you don't memorize the parts. So they'd take my sheet music, I'd mess the songs up. Man, but it was a great time. What a fun time that was. But that was the thing, too, is I played a lot of heavy metal. Like, I played some Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It was a kind of a death metal track and had a lot of fun doing those particular things. But, man, what a great jam that was. What a great gig that was. So let's do another jam. That's a good jam. And actually, that riff is probably from like one of the very first tunes that I ever recorded back when I was, I think, 16 years old. Man, I think I might still have that recording somewhere. I'm always amazed when I listen to myself when I was 16. I'm such a better player now, physically. But I still think I was much more creative when I was 16. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I listen back to it with fresh ears now, and I'm always like, I'll be honest with you. Back then, I had no idea what I was doing from a theory standpoint. You know, it was probably like right after I recorded that song. I got my first theory book and then started teaching like a year later after I understood the theory because I could actually kind of physically play pretty well. I mean, and I listen back to it now and it's like, nah. But man, I'm always impressed by the stuff I did as a kid. In fact, I always find jam tapes or just recordings. I have a whole folder called 4-track leftovers that I go back through and I listen to riffs and I was like, oh man, that was a great riff. That was a great riff. But it's amazing how creative you can be, even if you don't know what you're doing, right? Because again, you don't have to know, from a mathematics standpoint, what you're doing. You just have to make sure that it sounds good, right? Only one jam thing, right? Sounds good is good. All right. So let's do let's see what else jams we got going on here as I'm banging my giant guitar around the dojo. I think we already did that one. Well, I'm almost running out of time here. Let's see if we can't squeeze in one more jam before we run out of time. Let's see what we haven't done yet. Let's try this one. Nice way to finish it off. Hey man, it's been great hanging with you this Sunday. I hope you have a great rest of the evening. This has been the Jam and Shred Dojo with Master Lee. I am Christopher Lee Weiss, aka Master Lee, here on Junkie Bass, and I will see you again real soon. You guys take it easy. Have a good evening, everyone. Peace.